Are you finding yourself stuck in anxious thoughts? Like they're just all caught up in your head and you can't get them out. You don't know how to even make any progress to get rid of the anxiety, to manage the stress. Well, if that is you, and especially if that stress and anxiety is keeping you awake at night, I think you're going to appreciate what I'm going to share with you today because I'm going to provide a clip from a coaching call that I did in my private online community. And in this call, what I'm explaining is an activity that I do myself. It is a Christian grounding meditation. And I'm going to explain how to do this meditation and what it is about it that makes it work to be able to help you to feel grounded and to feel anchored so that you don't feel like you are just loose and floating all around with anxiety and with anxious thoughts. If you don't know me, let me introduce myself before we go on. My name is Tanya Cordenbrock, and I'm the person behind arenewedlife.com. Now, as I did mention, I do have an online private community where I do emotional wholeness coaching. And I spent years as a licensed professional therapist trained in trauma therapy. And I bring this experience and training together with biblical principles to coach women and how to master their emotions. Now let's watch the coaching call. I also have been doing the meditation that I described before about looking at the meditating on the sunset and spending a few minutes uh, kind of viewing the sunset as God smiling at me, his face looking upon me, and spending a few minutes thinking about what the blessings that he has brought into my life, and then spending a few minutes focusing on how he has been with me when I have needed him in my life, and then spending a few minutes in trying to reflect my feelings back toward him through my facial expressions. And through that whole thing, noticing what is going on within my body, how that feels. So I'm making that neural connection between the emotional part of my brain, my thoughts, and my body, and reinforcing that. So that has been helping me a lot. In the past week, I would say, I have not been doing that so much, and I can really feel a difference. I know some of you, when you wrote in the forum, you spoke of feeling kind of just out there, kind of flighty and loose. And that is kind of how I have felt at times, like I just don't have my grounding. And I think the word that was used was anchoring, and a couple of you used that possibly in different ways. I don't know, but I would definitely say I have had some days where I have not felt very anchored, very grounded. And the place I like to be is feeling grounded in the Lord, that he has got me, that he is working in my life, and that he loves me. And, when I'm feeling secure in that, then I can move forward with the things that are challenging, that are before me. I hope you noticed in the call the 3 points that I mentioned, the 3 parts to the meditation. The first one was thinking of the blessings that God has brought into your life and meditating on those. The second is meditating on God's presence with you in your life, especially at difficult moments in your life. Now, if you don't know how God has been present with you, then pray that and ask him, God, show me how you have been present with me in my life. And then the third part is to reflect back to him through your face your affection for him. And do not miss the very important point of connecting what you are meditating on, those thoughts, with your emotions, what you're feeling at the time, and most definitely what you are feeling in the body, because that is going to create new neural pathways and help you to be able to grab on to the emotion and the that sense of that solid feeling later on when you're feeling anxious. You can more readily grab on to that feeling of being okay, being firm in where you are with the Lord and that He has got you. Now, the meditation that I described here I learned about it from a book by Jim Wilder. And the book that I read about it in was called Renovated. I will put a link to that below, but another one of his books that I recommend even more is The Joyful Journey, because that is going to give you a really powerful, beyond what I described here, a much more extensive meditation that you can do to bring calm to yourself. Let me know if you have any questions about this, and I do have a free resource for you that is going to guide you in meditating on scripture in a way that is going to change your self-image. And I hope you'll take advantage of that today.